Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Heroes and villains are the main interest of most people in any sort of storytelling process ever since the dawn of storytelling. Here I present to you the top 10 anime fights where the hero takes 0 damage. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you can discover some super interesting information every day. Number 10. Diablo vs. Edelgard and How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Edelgard is one of the main characters in the series. She's a fallen demonic being. She is shown riding a dragon-like creature, but as she enters into combat, she descends from him and fights with her spear, due to her demonic beast being paralyzed out of fear. She commanded the army that attacked the city of Faltra, and was the superior of Grigory, but was defeated with the rest of the demonic beings by the supreme magic of Diablo, leaving her barely alive. So despite her formidable skills and the hellish hordes at her back, Edelgard found herself woefully unprepared for Diablo and his level 150 swag. Responding to her strikes, the OG Demon Lord responded in kind with a single spell that not only sent Edelgard and her wardrobe packing, but also wiped out an entire bridge and a good chunk of her forces. I guess that's real power, isn't it? Number 9. Melodius vs. Derriere and Monspeet in the 7 Deadly Sins. Once Derriere regained consciousness, she spends a significant amount of effort to heal her wound with her darkness. Getting over the initial shock of seeing Melodius alive, she devises a plan to kill him again. She tells Monspeet that she will distract Meliodas, and when the opportunity presents itself, he should hit both of them with his strongest attack. Monspeet at first feigns ignorance of what she means, but she assures him that she will survive the attack as she believes she is much tougher than Meliodas. She then charges off and Monspeet summons many lesser demons to help Derriere build up her combo star ability. After hitting 51 demons, Hawk Mama and Hawk, Meliodas blindsides her again by pile driving her into the ground, thus resetting her combo. Enraged, she begins attacking Meliodas again, screaming at the traitor, but he again easily parries all of her blows until attack number 12, in which he resets her combo once again by dodging her punch and hitting her from behind. Monspeet gets into position in the sky above the fight. Meanwhile, as Meliodas continues to parry her blows, he admits that if I can't help it, I'd rather not kill you guys. Seems like a huge mess. Don't you dare tell me otherwise. In the aftermath, we see Meliodas is victorious, while Derriere and Monspeet go into hiding to be seen in a different arc. Number 8. Ryoko vs. Takaharu in Kill la Kill. This boxer should thank his lucky stars he got to fight Ryoko when she was still embarrassed about wearing skin kids, otherwise he might have ended up losing more than just of his clothes. Despite the fact its hawking uniform is 8 had on the revealing side, the immense power of the Camry was more than enough to stop Boo Coronis punching from causing any damage whatsoever, paving the way for Ryoko to burst out the scissor blade and send him packing. Probably not quite the knockout he was hoping for, huh? Number 7. Mirio vs. Class 1A in My Hero Academia. There is no denying that this group of wannabe superheroes are talented to the point they've made the League of Villains eat dirt on multiple occasions. However, as this SmackDown proved, they still have a long way to go. Even with the combined talents of Deku, Todoroki, EDA, and the rest, they're all woefully unprepared for the unbridled power of these third-year students. Mirio may look like it's out on the dorky side and somehow always end up naked, but that doesn't take away from the fact he took down every member of Class 1A with a single strike, and they probably should have brought back a go-along. Nijiri asks Tamaki if Mirio's gotten stronger, and the former comments that Mirio needs to learn more restraint. Mirio asks Class 1A if they understand more now, but Izuku says they haven't learned anything by getting punched in the stomach. Well, that's understandable now, isn't it? Number 6. Rimuru vs. Ifrit. In That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. This summon may be feared across the land as a conqueror of flames, but that doesn't amount to much when you're fireproof. Kind of hilarious that after emerging from Shizu embroiled in hellfire, looking like a night unstoppable devil that haunt most fly, I can't even single one slime, Thanks to his Predator ability, Rimuru was able to easily put an end to the raging beast that had plagued his one true waifu, enabling him to end the scorching scuffle without ever having to worry about getting burnt. I mean, it certainly made digesting Everett all the easier. Number 5. Zoro vs. Hyozo in One Piece. We all know the vice captain of the Straw Hats can take way more punishment than the average mortal. So while we weren't worried about him losing his life, many of us were still convinced he would at least get scratched when going up against a drugged up octopus with a blade in every tentacle. Juice into the trunk, and so terribly. But nope, after 2 years of training, Zoro's skills had excelled so much that cutting apart the fishman's weapons was almost second nature. Yasu really should have called it quits there instead of trying to launch a sneak attack with a bunch of half-broken poison-covered swords that would have saved him from getting turned into takoyaki. Number 4. Reagan vs. Claw in Mob Psycho 100. We still can't get over the fact that the ones who bring this division of a psychic criminal organization to its knees was Reagan. How can you we not know you could meet Reagan the con man with an ironic talent for giving out great life advice after being stuck with Mob's abilities? Reagan manages to make short work of Claw's elite forces. It's a muddled engine here, not only breaking apart their powers like they were nothing, but also breaking their spirits by giving them a posh dose of reality. Not sure what's more devastating, getting ranked up by a fake psychic or having your perspective shaken so much you give up being a buddy. I felt that, did you? Number 3. Ainzul Gown vs. Clementine in Overlord. Look at it this way, Clementine. You might have ended up getting slowly crushed to death by a skeletal ruler with a grudge. But look on the bright side. You're the only one who managed to make the ruler of Nazareth use his own bony hands to kill someone. As opposed on relying on magic after butchering his human companions, the sadistic mercenary looked to put an end to the dark warrior named Mamanga, only to discover there was more to him than meets the eye. Cool toy Oilic Gordon's deathly embrace, even slamming blades into his eye socket, sprint fruitless as life is squeezed out of there. Yikes. Number 2. Kirito vs. Titan's hand build in Sword Art Online. Even before he was glitching death, killing fairy kings, and busting his way through final bosses, Kirito still had his fair share of open moments while escorting a fellow player on the journey to revive a beast companion of his. The two were ambushed by guild members looking for trouble. Unfortunately for Rosalia, she and her crew ended up targeting the one guy that can't be taken down thanks to a handy health regenerating item. Kirito can just stand back and let the rest of them hack away as they please, which only resulted in them looking like idiots as they desperately tried to take down and emboss their enemy.
I'm a solo player, got it. I don't care if I have to play as Orange for a couple of days.
Alright, here we go. We've come to number 1 in our list today. Saitama vs. Soiryu in One Punch Man. Leave it to Saitama to take the tried and true method of a tournament arc and turn it on its head. Despite his immensely cocky attitude, Soiryu proved himself to be a martial arts prodigy whose immense skills would excel in any other series. Alas, he's forced to share a stage with one of the world's strongest men, who not only takes no damage from one of his 4 frontal assaults, but manages to win the match by just shaking his fist around. Turns out that One Punch Man makes a mockery of martial arts, it's still enough to send a master flying into a wall. While he deserves to be number 1 on our list, I can be sure of that. If you enjoyed the video, support us by giving a thumbs up and by subscribing if you hadn't already. See you next time.